What's going on, guys? Hey, Repeat here, and this is
the
FilterTime eSpark iRacing Series, hydrated by BeWater.
Welcome, everybody, to Watkins Glen International Raceway, race number 4 for the FilterTime eSpark Xfinity Series, hydrated by the one and only BeWater. As always, I'm Repeat, and the second week in a row, and for the rest of the season, young Byron Jones, the young man, and I tell you what, he is becoming a broadcaster all his own, just waiting for that one lucky break with a little bit of cash behind it to get the PC needed so he can really get on up and produce some great streams. Byron, we're about ready to get set for qualifying. The clock is reset. We're going to have a full roster tonight. How you doing, and are you ready for this road course?
Oh, I'm doing great, Pete. Obviously, once again, so glad to be up here enjoying this with all you guys. Everything from down the chat, especially here, the conversations we have up in the booth. But yeah, I'm excited for tonight. Obviously, last week we saw the 17 of James Holzer just absolutely dominate Michigan, sorry. And Michigan came through. I'm expecting to see him possibly running up through 1 through 10, but then again, tonight's a road course race, and you're not only going left, you're now finding yourself turning right at the same point tonight.
Yeah, I mean, lefts and rights, it's the first, and I believe it might be the one and only road course for the FilterTime eSpark Xfinity Series. Riding right now with Sam Morris, and as I see more and more people leaving pit road, we were following or trying to keep up with Jordan Bain just a little bit ago, and it looks like this 94 so far on his warm-up lap. He looks pretty stable. I don't have a whole lot of time in these Xfinity cars to really judge, just how loose they are on the beginning, how many laps they got to give in order for the tires temperatures to really come up. And we'll also have a track map up on screen just about all night long to help everybody out with where their favorite drivers are at. Again, definitely appreciate everybody that's going to be out there in chat. Man, as always, it's going to be another phenomenal race.
Yeah, watching Samuel right now, actually, you were talking about the looseness of these cars. It seemed like the way through his practice, he was slipping and sliding all over the place right now, trying to get his warm-up in. Now attempting his qualifying lap. That's the only thing I think sort of brings the guys that are truly the difference between them of who can handle the car, who really can't. Because Xfinity is, in my opinion, one of the toughest cars to get around and maneuver around tracks. Right now, tonight, definitely is going to be the point where we truly see those guys separate from the people that can understand the car, the people that know the ins and outs of this race car. As you see Samuel, he's using up that entire track on his qualifying right now.
Man, I'm gonna try to find somebody else, because I think the more we watch, it seems like SpongeBob's eyes get bigger and bigger as he tries to hustle that Xfinity Mustang through all throughout this road course. Let's pick up with Jordan Bain, that number 28 BeWater, another Mustang in the field. So far, Jacob Kerr is the only one to take a full legit time at a minute 14, and just as I say that, a whole slew of other drivers have checked in. Nicholson is the quickest with Sherman, and now Bain. He just came across the line in P number 2. Let's see if that was actually just his warm-up lap. I believe it. Yep, I believe it was, because he's still hard on the throttle.
Oh, nope.
Nope, I take that. Yep, I take that back. So let's take a look. Let's see if we can't find old Mr. Hensley. There he is. And yep, he's got this number 30 new Pennzoil machine getting reared up. Old Steve Park throwback. Steve Park did pretty well around Watkins Glen.
Well, then that should have rubbed off, right? It should help him out a little into his qualifying laps. But I'm looking more and more, and I'm starting to see the diversity of drivers here. He's not really taking his corners as wide right now and backing up just a tad bit more. I think that's the one thing we're going to see a lot of is miscommunication between drivers trying to figure out who runs what lines and what braking points everybody has. Now you see he's making his way into turn 1 for his first qualifying lap and spins it out.
Yeah, he spun it out, but he didn't hit anything. it's just very, very unfortunate that that was already past the line. So this lap, while he's going to try to get up there and get as much speed going as he can, it's not going to mean a whole lot. You can almost bet this number 30 is going to be deep somewhere in the field.
Yeah, that's at the end of the day, though, I think that's sort of also a good starting point. You sit in the back, you watch all the carnage sort of happen up in the front. That's the way I like to look at it. Is now we check in with the Max Cash. Well, Cash.
Yep, Maxwell Castro. You got it. Yep. Just like Maxwell House and Fidel Castro. You're probably too young to remember him, except for maybe history class. But yeah, here he is rocking that same paint scheme from last week. The exact same next level racing rig that I said, during last week's race that I use myself. Looks like he has run out of time, and everybody now will go ahead and get up, get set, get going. And it looks like old Mr. Jacob Kerr with DJ Stagner will be our top two. Larry Hensley. So I'm guessing that what the lap that we saw him spin on was actually would have been his second lap or his cool down lap. So good job by him making sure that he threw it in there way past the line. It's just unfortunate that, it's actually fortunate, or unfortunate rather, because they actually start the race on the tires that they qualify on, so that little bit of a slide might hurt them just a little bit later. And then Josh Harbin, old Bear 95, he's going to be starting P4. Nathan Nicholson, P5. Jeremy Brialt in P6, Stan Carnathan, Jason Kepfer rather, old J-Mac, Jordan McGraw, John Osborne, Jose Ruiz, Sam Morris, Hunter Brittle, Elliot Henderson, Joey Stone, always has a huge following, Derek Garrison, old D Mitch from back in the day, John Honeycutt in that number 50 Chevrolet, Connor Cordes, Brennan Stauffer, Sean Blanchard, Jaden Gimbel, Dakota Long, Brendan Book, our current points leader, Tom Sears, James Holzer, which Holzer retweeted and mentioned, said that even though Brendan Book has the points lead, he's coming for it by the end of the night. Toll Owen, Tyler Dohar, Derek Sherman, Tom Flitcroft, old Tom Flitty, Jordan Bain, Justin Mons, and then the guy that we saw that went out just a little bit too late, wasn't able to complete that qualifying lap, the 27 of Maxwell Castro.
Yeah, very quick times as I'm looking here. A lot of these guys are within a tenth or so, at least second through fifth, all finding themselves within a tenth. So the way these guys ran qualifying, the way they're going to run this race, I wouldn't be surprised if they're really close, almost touching door banging, as I would put it at some points. And I'm so pumped for this. I'm ready. Second race for me, obviously fourth for you. These guys put on a great action every week. I expect nonetheless at a road course like Watkins Glen.
Yeah, I'm just really, really hoping that the initial action isn't everybody kind of adjusting to each other in that turn number 1 braking zone, trying to figure out exactly who's lifting where, who's able to get back on the throttle when, and we don't have the first big one in turn 1, lap 1. Hopefully everybody just kind of mellows out, realizes that it's a 40 to 45 lap race tonight, and settles in. If they've got a fast car and they kind of keep it straight, they keep it damage free, they'll be there at the end.
Yeah, and I think that's sort of the piece that you want. If you want to be that guy, you got to play smart and conservative the entire night. Obviously, some of the things that we saw earlier in the announcements with Dohar saying what he did, every 15 incident points will be a pass-through. So you got to be able to keep that car clean while also keeping it on the track. I know when, for example, in NR on the heat side, when they went to Watkins Glen, they had set in stone where guys couldn't go past the rumble strips, where they couldn't go past, or else they would have to serve some sort of penalty post-race.
Yep.
And it's sort of in the same boat, except you got to keep that car within the track lengths. And obviously the things that iRacing has compared to heat, allowing you sort of, if you mess up or something, it's going to give you the black flag, having you the slow down, which is something we haven't seen much. And it's going to be interesting to see how guys sort of attack that, because I've seen some guys where we'll go through the black flag, brake and then let it all break down, or are they going to stop straight off the left, hope it all dies down, and then go back into it?
Well, it looks like we're gonna have about a 32 car field tonight, so nobody's going home. Everybody's racing for all that it's worth. And like I said, Mr. Nicholson, he is going to be starting pole, and it's pretty interesting. You know, the pole position on road courses, or at least here, is on the outside. Let's see if we can actually get up a little bit closer to this number 47 monster. Looks like Toyota Supra. And see if maybe we can't pull him into the booth. Give me 1 second right quick. There we go. All right, let's see if he's actually in one of these channels. There he is. And he looks like he's a member of Dark Horse Motorsports.
I was going to say something about the hood. It looked like it was DHR, I believe, DHM.
Well, let's ask him about it. Mr. Nicholson, it is repeating Byron up in the booth, buddy. You got a copy?
I do.
Man, well, you were fastest in qualifying. Got that number 47 monster Toyota Supra on the pole. Now, bud, you got a whole lot of very, very hungry drivers that are going to be right up your tailpipe going into turn one and up through the S's. What do you think the chances of survival that your bumper will actually last throughout the race, knowing that everybody's going to have different braking points, different gas points here in the very beginning? And do you think that everybody might just take it a little easy, being on fresh tires?
I'm not 100% sure. To be honest with you, I really don't worry about everybody else on the track. I just worry about my car and where it's placed. And I just make sure to pass at the right time instead of passing in a terrible area.
Well, so you got the pole, one of the most pivotal spots that you need, especially for a road course race, because it's going to take a whole lot for everybody else to come on up. Are you a ringer, or was this pole just through practice alone?
Oh, no, I'm pretty good on road courses. I ran this in officials a couple weeks ago. I've got multiple road course victories in different leagues that I'm part of. So I'm pretty decent at road courses. I prefer them over ovals. That's why you see me up here.
Well, buddy, Byron and I both wish you a whole lot of luck. You got that safety Porsche trying to come on back by you. Good thought to cut the bus stop so you didn't possibly, rub some fenders the wrong way on just your warm-up lap. We wish you a lot of luck. We'll get you back to your Dark Horse Motorsports teammates, and who knows, maybe we'll be talking to you in the final three.
10-4.
All right, we'll go ahead and get him back where he's got to go, Byron. Byron, with everybody that's out here in this field, did anybody stick out to you? Anybody that you wanted to pull in and see how they're feeling? Last, maybe somewhere in the middle? Anybody at all?
Send in Joey Stone, see if he's got anything to say, or even Dohar, one of those two.
Okay, yeah.
Last minute thoughts. See what they got.
Yep, I don't see Joey Stone. I don't see Dohar. I think they might be up in the admin channel. How about actually no? There's Joey Stone. Let's see if we can actually pull him. He's also in Dark Horse Motorsports.
Stay on the track.
Joey Stone, it's Pete and Byron up in the booth, bud. How you doing?
Oh, doing good. Just coming to the green at a track that I am not confident whatsoever. How are you doing?
I did not. I apologize, man. We will put you right back. Good luck, sir.
Oh, you're good.
There we go, Byron. Now we're going to go ahead and get Mr. Stone back with his teammates coming up through the S's. Pretty clean start for that number 47.
Yeah, the 47 now already out to an excellent lead as he heads on down the back straight, looking into the inner loop. It's one of the beautiful things I love when they put over names, but he's already created what looks to be a second and a half gap already on the next guy behind him, which is the 37 of Elliott Henderson. he's already putting a whooping on the guys, and we haven't even started the race just yet. But look how smooth he just maneuvers through it. As now we see guys, looks like locking up as now we check in with Joey Stone after we just went ahead and moved him out.
Yeah, that was a little bit of an oops. Their pace lap kind of flew by a whole lot quicker than I thought it was going to. But yeah, catching up with Joey Stone right kind of in the middle to the back half, right in front of the 47 of Justin Mons. And Justin Mons tweeted something out earlier also about a brand new paint scheme. Look at that number 41 Gamer Camaro. Man, with all the spec mapping and everything on that car, looks really, really nice. So far, so good.
Yeah, beautiful scheme he's got there, like you said. As we move over to the 8 of Thomas Flitcroft, currently finding himself P16 trying to maneuver. Oh, big wreck in front of him. Guy went around. I can't make out who that was, but he avoided that thing just by a little bit. Looks like it might have been Sean Blackard, I believe is how you pronounce it.
Yeah, Sean Blanchard completely lost it right there. And looks to be because he went nose first into that outside guardrail. Now this car looks like a modified. He's definitely going to have to get up and get going. Good thing it's not a draft track. He still might be. He's going to be slower, but man, he doesn't have to worry about aero. And I think from what I'm looking at, the tires are all in the same direction that they need to be. Kind of bowed out. He's going to come through the bus stop and cut the course, maybe just to get out of the way. Not 100% sure, but good thing that he's still up and going and he didn't blow up right in that right in the wall.
Yeah, that would have been a terrible thing to sort of see early on in the race, as guys are just starting to single file out now is what it's starting to look like. Everybody's starting to get a form of how they feel about the track and how they're feeling around others. As we check back in with the 28 of Jordan Bain trying to make his way up through the pack. One of those guys seems to be fast in any car you put him in. Well, right now, up to P number 5 already. He is on the move.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be another wreck a little bit further in the back between Larry Hensley and Josh Harden. Let's go ahead and try to take a look back with these guys. It looks like it's all in the braking zone, getting into turn number 1. 30's wide, 3 car comes up, and there's just nowhere to go. It looks like they collect each other, but no real damage between the two. 30 just couldn't, he didn't see the 3 very, very close to his door. They're both going to be able to keep on going. Looks like while we were covering those two, another one had a little bit of an issue. Going to be looking at Brendan Stoffer. Looks like coming through the bus stop, coming out and getting into the carousel. 27 of Maxwell Castro, hard on his rear end. 26 hard up into the outside wall. It's a little early to be pushing it quite so far or quite so hard. But Byron, that's one of the things we were talking about, learning everybody's braking points and gas points. It looks like the 27 just might have got into the brakes a little bit later than Brennan.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's one of the things that I think sort of happens a ton here with those guys, is not feeling the understanding of everybody, because we go from typical left-hand turns to now we're moving left and right, having different braking points. It just all comes into the factor of being a racer, so totally understanding the ins and outs of everybody, as now we're watching the 24 of Connor Cortez maneuvering his way through the bus stop, now heading on down into the carousel. The guy's now starting to get a feel up in the front for sure, as now they're starting to drag away. But I'm telling you, that 47 right now, Nathan Nicholson now out to what I believe is a 5/10 gap. I'm sorry, 5-second gap rather, out on the 37 of Elliot Henderson. This guy has got no limits right now.
Yeah, no limits whatsoever. He is checked out. He has left the rest of the field in the dust, working and coming up on 6 seconds. And as it looks like we've been on the 47, Sam Morris, he's gone ahead and brought his machine around. Let's kind of see exactly what happened. Is it getting the guardrail, going into the bus stop? Nope, he just cooked it and went too far over. Good job by him to lock in that 94 Mustang down. No damage. He's going to go ahead and blend back in on track and keep on going. And it looks like while we've been covering him, Jose Ruiz in this number 23 Bell South machine, he had a little bit of an issue coming across the start stripe, going into turn number 1. A little loose. He's going to loop it. Nope. Able to lock it down. Great job holding the wheel down, and he's going to be able to get that thing going as well. A lot of very close calls for these guys, but they're doing a masterful job.
Yeah, it's seeming like cold tires is still sort of that factor right now for everybody, not really being able to warm them up. Obviously, you said qualifying tires do advance over the race tires, but I don't know. I think everybody's still trying to get a feel for everything. As we're still watching this 47, it blows me away how he's able to understand this course so well. But, yeah, I think at the end of the day, you just got to be consistent, like the 37 at Elliott. Yes, he's finding himself running second, but he's running second. It's better than running last. You see 52 of Derek Sherman slowly starting to close in on him. That's one of the things that's sort of rough, though, about these tracks. Everybody gets so spread out. The racing just sort of becomes a mental game at that point, as we do check in with the 52, trying to close in on that 37.
Yeah, by now it looks like as these guys are coming off the turns, it's really not all about a whole lot of looseness anymore. It looks like their cars are pretty stable under them. You know, Byron, it's pretty cool watching these guys go over the rumble strip, in and out of the bus stop, and coming through the carousel as they go over these rumble strips and over the turtles getting into and off of the bus stop. Just watching the suspension in these cars flex. I mean, in real life, you're watching these cars get up on two wheels and believe it or not, it actually helps the cars turn a little bit.
Really, I've never seen that sort of piece before. Maybe that's a little more understanding of why they love to hit it and get those things airborne. But the 28 of Jordan Bain currently under fire from the 17 of James Holzer, last week's winner and the week before that. He's looking to go 3 times back, but I don't know. He's working on the outside of that 28. Going to maneuver around him in what we like to call the 90, making his way over the S's. Bain sort of staying consistent, wanting to stay where he is, obviously finding himself top 5, but if he keeps making little mental mistakes or guys start catching him, he may find himself dropping back to P10. Then again, still very, very early into this one.
Absolutely, letting the 17 of Holzer go on by. He's made up about 4 positions so far. It may not be a bad idea, seeing that he's come through the track. I think Boehner actually qualified just a little bit better. No, actually, Boehner qualified 1 position better than where he is right now. He started in P number 4. So seeing that Holzer has come on up and caught him in just a matter of 7 laps, on a road course, that's kind of a rough thing with all the shifting that they've got to do, as it looks like the 52, we were just talking about him a moment ago. Nope, gotta go back one more time. But the 52, he's gone around. That's going to be Derek Sherman, I believe. Yeah, there he is. But it looks like that Toyota is still in one piece as Tom Flitcroft gets on by him. Saw him just as he came through the corner. Maybe a little extra, maneuvering to make sure that he didn't hit that number 52. But John Fry out there in chat saying, old ENEA Hydra, let's go, as he pulls for Mr. Sherman.
Yeah, another guy around. These guys are starting to find themselves going around. Once again, couldn't make out who that was. See if we can check here.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the 41 of Justin Mons. Got up on the rumble strips, a little bit too much throttle, hard on the inside wall. Boy, I tell you what, that is the second car we've seen that has completely lost the hood after some contact, whether into the inside wall or outside wall. I'm guessing this place collects trophies, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. Take the hoods, go ahead and claim them, stash them for later. Said, hey, guess what we got and guess what you don't got? As we head on back to the 52 of Derek Sherman, trying to regain his spots. Obviously, now you see he makes a move to the outside. But now, 17 of James Holzer, now up 5 positions in that 3rd place position. Had some advantage after that 52 spun. He's got him 37-47. Right now, nobody's seeming like they have anything for that 47, but the way he's driving, I wouldn't be surprised if James catches him. And Brendan Book currently trying to catch the 28 of Jordan Bain as they head on through the S's.
Yeah, when Bain let the 17 of Holzer go on by earlier, the next car right behind him, as you still see, is the 5 of Brendan Book. So right now, Jordan Bain, he is in the middle of a points war between the 17 of Holzer and the 5 of Brendan Book. So there was only a 4-point difference between first and second. Holzer went back-to-back, winning Atlanta Motor Speedway and then winning Michigan as well. Brendan hasn't won yet, but he's just been that consistent to where he's been able to hold on to the points lead. And it looks like old Mr. Stone here, he's had a little bit of issue. We're going to try to catch in with him. Coming up to the bus stop, I believe that's going to be the 50 of Honeycutt right in front of him. Got a little loose, wheel hopped, possibly on a downshift. Going to keep backing up that way he doesn't block the track. Didn't really hit anything. Might have got an incident point or two going through the grass. And just as I say that, the 77 of Tyler Dohar comes on up as well as the 25. And, yeah, no harm, no foul. Let's check back in now with Larry Hensley. Looks like he had an issue. Back to that number 30 Pennzoil machine that we talked about earlier. Second to last turn, then the last turn. Just issues. It looks like these machines are getting wicked loose, getting into and coming off the corners.
Yeah, actually, one of the things that Bane told me was trying to figure out the track when me and you were going at it down and turn down for what?
Yep.
He said the same thing to us. He said, you got to brake, but you can't brake while turning or else it's going to spin your car when you try to get back into the gas just because it's already looping out. He said you got to be straight heading in that corner, downshift, and then make your right-hand turn. Obviously, it's working out for him right now. We'll have to see if that's sort of his consistency, his pace for tonight. But I think at the end of the day, that's what guys got to start getting that mentality. Got to be before you can turn.
There you go. So, I'm watching this number 5, Brendan Book, and he is slideways coming off of these corners. He's having to steer a whole lot to the right-hand side in order to keep that thing going left, or steering to the right or left in order, when he's going right. So a whole lot of counter steer, but he's doing a pretty good job not to lose that target machine. Looks like Tom Sears has had a little bit of an issue a little bit further back in this number 14 ARCS machine, racearcs.com. Tom Sears, he's got, as he comes up on the 77 of Tyler Dohar, while in the braking area, it's braking section, maybe Dohar slid him just a little bit, or maybe Dohar was checking up for that number 53 Air Jordan, looks like Mustang, and that's going to allow the 64 to come on up and get on through, but no real issue there. It looks like for the most part, these cars are good to go.
Yeah, all these guys are sliding around like it's the Chili Bowl or something, acting like they're all on dirt, trying to figure out what they can do. Turn right to go left, obviously, is the saying right now for most, if not everybody. But the 10 of Hunter Brittle currently finding himself in the 10th place position, trying to catch the 11 of Jacob Kerr. Jacob Kerr was one of the guys that we talked about a lot last week, finding him in the 9th place position. Hopefully he can keep rhythm going and catch that 24 Connor Cortez. But guys starting to go at it now. You're starting to see small battles happen around the track. Right now, these guys are within maybe a 4-car pack battling, and some guys coming off pit road. Can't make out who that is.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the 09 coming off pit road, just grabbing 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods and getting back up to speed. We're going to try to catch up with him right now. So that was lap 12. So he would have come in right there on lap 11. So these guys are only looking at about 11 laps of fuel at a 45-lap race. Somebody might be able to save 1 extra lap and not have to worry about that 45th lap. We'll have to see. There are a lot of guys out here with some really good equipment who getting into the bus stop, getting through the first half of the carousel, they might just throw it in neutral, save a little bit of gas, and then get back up and get going. But the 09, that was Mr. Owen.
Oh, wow. Kind of surprising then, considering he was running up where he was and only dropped back to 10th. I guess that's an advantage you got at a track like this. With it being so big, you don't fall off as much when you come on down pit road and get your tires and fuel, as we do look in him here. But you're talking about one of those guys that might be a possible saver. One of the guys that comes to mind all the time has got to be the 77 of Tyler Dohar. It seems like somehow, some way, he manages to save up that fuel and keep his car going maybe a few more laps. We saw it happen at Michigan. Caution fell almost perfectly for him. as now he's going to continue driving. It looks like guys are refusing to come on down pit road, though. We may not need a potential fuel-saving situation at the rate we're going, but yeah, Joe Hart doing an excellent job right now, up 2 positions already in P18, looking to catch the 82 of Stan Carnathan.
Yeah, Stan Carnathan in this number 82 BeWater Ford Mustang, as you just mentioned, sitting P18 and actually up 12 spots from where Stan started. Great race so far for this guy, and I tell you, as one of the main guys that helps out Jordan Bain in the BeWater Be Fast iRacing series on Monday nights, him right along with Mike York. I don't remember Stan as being, one of the proverbial, road course racers, but to go up 12 spots in 14 laps, I'd say right now that's a win for Stan.
Yeah, at the rate he's going, he could be a potential threat right now for top 10, maybe even top 5 situation. So now we check in with the good old Honeycutt. You're just speaking of the BeWater Be Fast. He won Daytona. Can he keep his streak going and get himself potentially up in that P1 position? We were talking with him, and he's like, I don't know. I think I'm going to be okay here. It's Watkins Glen, of course. You can't always expect the best out of it. And right now, P10 up 21 positions so far this race. I think it's a win in the books for him, too.
Oh, absolutely. I kind of, like you mentioned, just kind of talked to him for a little bit in pre-race and said, man, we're going from a super speedway, plate track to a road course in just a matter of a couple days. He actually spent all day at Daytona during next-gen testing, tweeted out a bunch of videos, and he said, man, when these things come around the corner, you hear them and feel them coming. So these next-gen cars, when they get to Daytona in that full 40-car pack, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it. But yeah, John Honeycutt up 18 spots, currently in P number 13.
Yeah, it's now he's starting to close in the gap on the 8 of Thomas Flitcroft, too. So now you see him getting closer and closer in that mirror, now down to 1 second. He's got to keep doing what he's doing, keep hitting his brakes, keep hitting his marks. That's what it essentially comes down to. I'm going to say it repetitively. That's how I am sometimes. Consistency is key at tracks like this. But one of the guys that's also been very, very consistent so far is the 81 of Jaden Gimbel, now finding himself actually P10, if I'm seeing that right, as now he's making his way on through the bus stop. Another one of very fast drivers that could be a potential threat that we may see a little bit later in this race if these guys do happen to stack back up.
Yeah, Jaden Gimbel just recently opened up his own scheme shop. Said, man, actually Discord and Facebook page and all that, and said, Pete, if you know of anybody, please send them my way. But also Shad Swatsworth, he started up his own shop this week as well. And you know what, Byron, it might be like the best time, because there are a whole lot of people that have completely had enough with 21, have bought the PC, got on over. They're working through their licenses, getting the next gen, getting the Xfinity, getting the trucks, getting the ARCA, doing all this different kind of racing, and everybody wants a special paint scheme of their own. Please reach out to Jaden Gimbel, reach out to Shad Swatsworth, as it looks like the 11 has a little bit of an issue. That's going to be Jacob Kerr. Let's see what happened here. Looks like a little loose going through turn 1, and he just did not have the car under him, and it looks like, the 09, even though he's on that new rubber, he's going to come on up and plow the rear end of that 11, send him backwards up into that outside wall. Now he just has to wait for traffic to go on by. That way he doesn't cause a bigger one, and they did mention that if there are 4 cars or more that wreck, or cars that block the track, then they would go ahead and throw the caution. So the 11 just having to stay there. And while we talking or look at him, Josh Harbin has also recently had an issue in his number 3 Chevy Camaro. He's got the
guys. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Nope, that's good. He was able to lock it up and not really cause an issue. Looped it around, and the guy that we saw earlier in that number 53 Nike machine, he was able to get on by no issue. So, man, these guys doing a phenomenal job with their evasive driving on a very tricky road course. Not only tricky, but these guys are loose, Byron.
Yeah, I think it's just sort of new tires starting to come into effect again is really pushing their cars. We saw it happen the first time when everybody started getting out and going. I think at this point it's just sort of how the car is fully acting to your tires, to the pavement that they have down. For some who may not have known, they did just rescan the entire Watkins Glen on iRacing, threw it back down, said, here you go. I don't know if you've had a chance to really test this track yet, Pete, but it seems like the more you get on, the slicker it was. I was testing down for the next gen, getting ready for the BeWater series when they had here, and it was slick as can be. Before, it was all super tight. Guys were struggling to really keep the car getting around the corners. Next thing you know, these things are wanting to slip and slide all over the place.
Yeah, we've been keeping up with the 23 of Jose Ruiz as he closes in on the 33. And just as I say that, it looks like Dakota Long has had some kind of an issue getting into the bus stop. Rumble strips on the left, rumble strips on the right, rumble strips up the middle, and then there is some grass. And it looks like pow into that inside wall. He's going to loop it around. No immediate traffic right behind him, so it doesn't look like he's going to lose any spots either. So this number 25 Combos Toyota Supra is going to be able to get back up and get going as he does it again. And here comes Stan Carnathan. He's going to be able to miss him, as well as the 77 of Tyler Dohar. And it looks like he just went ahead and had that thing towed.
Wow, it's very, very unfortunate for some of these guys, especially walking in thinking they were feeling great about this and realized that was a big mistake. But as we do check back in with the 23 of Jose Ruiz, he's starting to close in on that 33 of Jason Kiefer. It's starting to get closer and closer. Now down to 0.5 of a second. Jose's just got to keep doing whatever he's doing. Obviously, it's working now. At the end of the day, I truly don't know what the best way to do it. Especially as now you see he's trying to pick up the draft down through the chute and into 7 and 8. I'm sorry, yeah, 7 and 8. Oh, look at this. I'm starting to learn the track this way.
Well, you're pretty close. But yeah, one thing I've noticed Byron being able to do, he's able to get that car to hook up coming off the corner. So it might just be a lower gear, getting that thing to rotate, and then going on down as they race side by side across the start stripe, getting into turn number 1. Jose, downshift, 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 hard back on the throttle. He's going to be able to maintain, and he's going to be able to get on by the 8 of Tom Flitcroft, as it looks like he's had an issue, but also the number 5 of Brennan Book. He had a problem. He went slightly off track coming through the bus stop. Nope, that was turn 6. Hold on to it, target machine. Good thing for that extra runoff. That is one of the products of this new scan. That all used to be grass up there, Byron. If that still was, that number 5 target machine would have had a target for the wall, and he possibly could have lost his hood, as we saw with other people. And then also we saw Tom Flitcroft as the 23 and company went on by. Here's what Tom saw. You see it. We see the flames shooting out of the tailpipe as he was downshifting, just maybe a little extra wheel hop there, but keeping that double bubble machine from not getting popped back up on track. And as you saw, there goes the 23 and the 33. They get on by cleanly, going back up through the S's. We're gonna go ahead and bring it back live.
Double Bubble is able to keep his car out of double trouble, the 23 and 33. As now we check back in with the 50 of Honeycutt, now up 22 positions in this race, finding himself P number 9, trying to track down that 81 of Jaden Gimbel, which is 2 seconds ahead of him. And look at the gaggle of cars right in front of him. Honeycutt's going to have to make his way through those guys very quickly here. Now he make his way through the bus stop and heading on down the carousel. He's just seeming so smooth right now. He got in his groove, and he's staying in it, as now I believe that is Jaden Gimbel, 2 cars in front of him, if I'm not mistaken.
Jaden Gimbel, actually, he's the first car in front of him that's on the same lap as him, but you've also got the 5 of Brandon Book, Connor Cortez, Hunter Brittle, Jordan McGraw, James Holzer's fallen back, so I'm going to guess that he is on pit road, but we're actually going to catch back up with this 47 as he's about to grab the back end of the number 77 of Tyler Dohar. Dohar right now is in P14. So there have been a few more guys that have gone down pit road. We're working lap 20 with 20 laps to go. So Byron, halfway so far.
Man, I haven't seen one of these sort of dominations in a while since watching, I believe it was Andrew Wisdom over in PSES after he truly just dominated the entire Watkins Glen race. 47 and Nathan, it just blows my mind how he's able to hit the corners perfectly every single time and not really have as much of a mess up. Knocking on wood over here, hoping the commentator curse doesn't hit him. And it's just, look at it, he's so smooth heading through those corners. I need to get him as my teacher. I need to start learning the ways of the 47 here, as now he's making his way even more through lap traffic. That is the 5 of Brendan Book. Guys are starting to go laps down now. Yes, guys are coming on down pit road, but how many guys can this 47 lap before this race is all over?
More than a cape out there saying, let's go J-Mac. Let's see if we can actually catch up with J-Mac. There he is right now in that Dreamcast Camaro on pit road, and he's got other company as well. Looks like it's going to be Jordan Bain up there in front of him. You can only catch the top of these cars as they go on down, get to the attention of their crew, and it looks like I just got notification that Tom Flitcroft, old Tom's had a little bit of an issue, and I've got to apologize to FilterTime and Tyler Dohar as well as his admins. I didn't switch over the transfer screen, so I'll go ahead and make sure to get that taken care of next time. Tom, one more time. Broke loose getting into turn 1. There you see the runoff on the left-hand side. He's going to work his way up. No harm, no foul. He lost a little bit of time, but didn't actually wreck anything on that double bubble machine. Same thing with Jose Ruiz. Something happened with him in his 23 Bell South Camaro.
Yeah, it looked like the 8 of Tom actually just doubled up here, and then Alessia hit over Ruiz.
Yep, Jose Ruiz looks like kind of the same thing. I don't know if that's actually kind of the first thing where I've seen him break loose, getting under or hitting the brake and downshifting at the same time. Wonder if maybe he got down one too many gears while the RPM didn't match. So, but good job by Jose Ruiz to stay where he was right now. Still P number 8. Jason Kepfer in front by about 5 seconds, and Jordan Bain behind by about 2 seconds. As you see, Bain coming up, about to enter this bus stop.
Yeah, it's seeming like that spot in 1 is seeming to be like the most spot where guys are spinning out. I don't know if it's because of that huge dip that you hit going in. As you go in, you go from top to bottom, back up to top. Or maybe it's just, like you said, the product of downshifting way too fast as we take this beautiful camera angle overshot of the 23 of Jose Ruiz. As now you see he goes ahead and heads in the 6 and 7 just so gracefully. As you see, he makes a little bit of a move on the outside of the rumble strips.
Oh,
I haven't really seen anybody, though, receive a black flag just yet this race, which is kind of surprising with how much everybody's been slipping and sliding right now.
Yeah, we just saw Jordan Bain in the very, very immediate view of this of that 23 of Jose Ruiz. There's Jordan Bain, very, very down close to the rumble strip, a little bit more of a disciplined corner, so he's going to be able to go on by, grab that position, move Jordan Bain up to P number 6, only 2 spots back from where he originally started. Alpha York out there, definitely appreciate the host, sir. And Byron, it looks like John Osborne's got an issue. Let's catch up with him. Oh, we got caution's gonna fly.
Wow, that's interesting to see what happens. Ooh.
Oh, that 52. He has not had the best day, but I think we just saw Stan Carnathan get on by, as well as 1 or 2 others. We're gonna go and bring it back live.
I'm gonna take assumption and say that was your caution there, with the guy slowing up, trying to avoid that wreck there.
So now, Byron, this 47 had a dominant. I mean, he's slowed up, and they're still 17 seconds behind him. So yeah, But good news is, it looks like this ARC's Toyota Supra behind him is going to be able to go ahead and grab his lap back if that wasn't 2 laps down that he just went. So when it's all said and done, it looks like we are going to have 15 of the 32 cars on the lead lap, but we're going to add 1 to it.
Yeah, I think when it's all set too, you're going to have 15 laps to go in the race. So in this case, you come on down and get the tires, or do you stay out? With how warm the tires are sort of feeling and the fact that they are able to run almost 21 laps their last time by, did they only need to stop once, or do they come down for fuel and possibly lay off the tires at this point? What do you sort of do in the situation?
You have to come down for those tires. Man, well, you know what? It's iffy. Where this caution came out with 16, now 15 laps to go, we mentioned or kind of caught on in the beginning of the race. Everybody started to pit right about lap 11. I don't think you can save if they do go back green on they're not going to go back green on 15. They'll probably go back green on 14. I don't think you can save 3 laps. So I think everybody's got to either make their own decision. If they've got a crew chief, this is where they earn that money, and say, hey, stay out. You might be a little bit slower, but in the end, when you've got about 3 laps to go, you're going to have to come in. But Byron, there's another issue there. If they come in with 3 laps to go, they're coming back out on cold tires, trying to push that thing. That's how troubles come to be. And cautions, they kind of they can at times rather bring the worst out of people. This is, everybody's back close. Everybody's going to be getting into turn 1. They might try to overrun that braking zone just a little bit to gain some time. There's so many different ways that this could play out. To pit or not to pit, where you brake, where you get on the gas, who you try to jump. Man, Byron, what do? You're the road course racer. If to me, if you got to hit the brakes, the track's not for me.
I'm going to circle all the above. Come on down, get the tires. Hope that I don't know. I think in this sort of opinion, I would want to lay back just a little. So I would sit in pit road if you feel like you're going to be ran over. If you feel like you're going to be ran over on the start, lay back in pit road just for a second. Especially if you know you're faster than most, if not the entire field. Give yourself that breathing room to where if guys do go around, you can say, oh, wait, hold up, gotta roll up here. Now I can dip it and take off. Or do you want to take the risk? As you see guys, I believe pit roads are open, so guys are refusing to come on down pit road, at least the top front view. So maybe fuel may not be an issue, or maybe it is. They're just holding off, sort of expecting not trying to lose their position that they have and only gaining what they can.
Well, I believe that SpongeBob number 94 was the first car to go down pit road. Jose Ruiz on that left-hand side, a little bit of evasive driving, not to rear end that 94. But J-Mac, he's going to pull it up right next to this 26 Rust-eze machine and other company. Actually, I believe those guys were a lap down, so they're going to fall to the back. But the 47 kind of answered that question for us. He allowed a lot of people to go down pit road because he did not pit. And you see them already getting stacked up 2 by 2 behind them. We're on 15 to go. It is going to be a barn burner when we let them go.
Yeah, guys are going to be struggling for position. They're going to try to outbrake each other. This one's going to get very, very interesting to sort of see how everything goes. But one of the guys that's not too worried about his position right now is the 17 of James Holzer, finding himself P2. Obviously, he is quick, able to drive himself up to the second place position, but can he be as quick, if not quicker, than the 47 of Nathan? As of right now, we've seen him dominate the entire race, but don't count out the man that's looking to go 3 times back-to-back.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's in a great spot, but with how fast his 47's been, unless the 17 uses a little bit of chin music, talking about using the front bumper of that number 17 Ray's Camaro, I don't think he's going to be able to get up there. But one thing that he might be able to do that he talked about earlier on Twitter, he said he was coming for the championship points tonight. Right now, Brendan Book. He's back here in P12, just now coming through the bus stop in this Target Camaro. He is several points behind James Holzer. In fact, 10 to be exact. Now, Brendan Book hasn't led a lap that I know of, neither has the 17. That 47 has been dominant, so they won't get any extra bonus points. They were separated by 4. Right now, James Holzer would be good by 6.
Yeah, I don't know. I got some sort of feeling about that 17. I have a feeling he's going to be able to charge up, lead at least 1 lap, if not more, with the way he's been driving those wheels off that thing. I could be proven wrong, though. I've been proven wrong many of times before. I wouldn't expect it to happen again, but keep moving it back. You see the 50 of John Honeycutt up 24
Who's Johnny?
positions.
Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just keep going through. This caution played out pretty well for Jose Ruiz. He's been very fast, very consistent as always in this Bell South Mobility Camaro. It seems like this 23 number really suits Jose. He's just been great everywhere that he's gone. A caution is still out. We're going to check back in with our leader. They are going to go ahead and double up, which means we've got 1 more lap, which means we're going to hit the loud pedal with 13 to go. Nicholson choosing to stay on that inside just as he did with the pole. 17's going to be outside. Jordan Bain back there in P number 3, followed by the 34 of Jordan McGraw, old J-Mac. And, Cape wanted to see him earlier. Well, now he's getting a pretty good view of J-Mac. There's the 24 of Connor Cortez as well in his number, I just mentioned 24, Bud Camaro. It's actually a pretty nice scheme looking all the way around that thing.
Yeah. I'm just getting a first look at that, first glance of the night. That one's really well put together. It took a lot of time on that one, I'll tell you right there.
Byron, I know you're kind of a paint scheme guru yourself. If you had to give this a 1 out of 10, what would you slap? What number would you slap on that door if it wasn't 24?
I would give it a big old 8. That's what I would give a good.
There you go. I was hoping you'd. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's a beautiful number 24 Budweiser Camaro for Connor. We're going to check to his outside. Old Toll Owen in that 09. Another one that got a great break with this. J-Mac in that 34. We're going to kind of work our way up through the field as they get ready to get to get through these last couple of corners. Elliot Henderson in his 37. James Holzer, Raise Energy. I got one sitting right here with me. And then, of course, our leader all night long, the 47 Monster Supra for Nathan Nicholson.
Oh, look at that little bottle he's got on the side of his car.
Yeah, he's staying hydrated in there.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. He's staying hydrated. Plus, have you heard about the new launch from BeWater that they went ahead and sent out not that long ago?
I did. A hemp-infused, nutrient-rich water. Yeah, absolutely. And I think Stan actually tweeted out that he went ahead and placed an order for that. Yeah, and funny enough, right along with a big old order for my niece's first ever Girl Scout cookie sale, which is pretty cool. Whole lot of the guys dove in on that. But man, coming through turn 6, heading towards turn number 7, the very last turn, this poor safety car is about to pull off. Lights are out. Byron, they all can't go for 13 laps here, unless 11 was playing it safe. I don't think they can go the rest of the way. Here we go, one more time.
Yeah, you were talking about the fuel being a potential issue. It may not be, it may be. We'll have to see. Green flag waving once again down here in New York. 47 of Nathan Nicholson going to go ahead and stretch his lead out already down the 6th. Going to be able to take off now as the 17 James Holzer starting to fall back as we see a huge gaggle of cars right here with the 14 of Tom Sears trying to navigate his way through. Right in front of him, though, the 77, Tyler Dohart, taking it too wide through the S's.
Yeah, taking it too wide with the 33 to his outside. That's going to be Jason Keffer, side by side. I'll tell you what, this isn't easy coming side by side up through the S's in the trucks, and they're slower. Some of these guys are 3 wide heading into the bus stop. They got that guardrail to the inside. They got the rumble strips too. Oh, looks like a little bit of contact. 77's going to go around. This will block the track. I believe caution will fly. We'll have to see. So far, 52-14 side by side. No yellow.
Wow, kind of surprising. They said 4+ cars will warrant a yellow out. It looks like it's not going to happen. So guys are going to have to get those cars fired back up and continue rolling. And look at him, 14 just limping his way back around. But here we go, back up to the front of the track. 17 of James Holzer hasn't fallen off that 47 just yet. Still hanging tough with him. Ever since that little breakaway that the 47 got off the restart, 17 of James Holzer has sort of been around in that area right now. As I say that, though, the 47 starting to pull away once again to his commanding lead he had last time.
Absolutely, just about a second over that number 17 for Holzer, and already a second and a half back to Henderson, and 2 seconds back to Jordan Bain in this number 28 BeWater Ford Mustang. Long line of single file cars this time. Boy, what a stark difference to the way it was last time. As you see the 09 go around in the grass of the bus stop. That will not bring out a caution. Not quite sure if you had a little bit of help right there. And actually, no, yellow is going to fly.
Wow. I don't know if he was trying to do a kick flip off that or something, but he definitely spun it around going in there.
Let's see, Derek Sherman coming up through the S's. No front end on that 52 whatsoever. Hard into that outside wall. He's going to go ahead and loop it around. But I think there's something more to this. Let's see if we can't catch up a little bit later. Maybe Toll Owen? There he is, Toll Owen. And did he collect anybody else? Is that why the caution's coming out?
I wonder if they're trying to debate on last time with the guys getting all sort of gaggled up here and getting all involved. Maybe they finally came to a consensus saying, hey, we need to call out a caution. Something messed up a lot of these guys.
Yeah, it's interesting to say the least, but you know what? They got the very, very professional eye of Marty Hensley as the eye in the sky. Old Rock NASCAR, he's the one, pulling these cautions out if they need to be thrown. I completely 100% trust his integrity, and he wants to see this where everybody's got a fair shake. Good job, Marty.
Yeah, of course. We've been around him enough, obviously, that he does so much.
Oh,
everything, yeah. Community, it's everything he steps into. He's foot in, he's foot down on the ground, and he's running. And it's awesome to see he's race control here. I believe he's race control over in the BeWater. Has some stuff going on, I believe, down in Turndown for what? He's everywhere now. He's got iRace, and it's amazing to see, man.
Riding back a little bit further with old DJ Stagner, another one that's up top in the points, rocking this number 64 Atlanta A's, the Atlanta A's, I believe. Toyota Supra, and he's got that old Lightning McQueen paint scheme right behind him, and there is also old Justin Mons just a couple spots back. Take a quick look at this number 41, and they are absolutely slowing up getting to the bus stop.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on there. Maybe the Porsche's starting to break down a little, giving up. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, they are at a snail's pace after coming to the bus stop entry. Normally about 160 mile an hour, if not a little bit better. Great job by all these guys. Here's that number 27 Maxwell Castro machine again. Believe, boy, these guys are so mixed up due to lead lap and lap down cars. It's actually kind of hard to get on board with them. But either way, we're going to go ahead and pick up P number 5 right now. Old J-Mac, a little bit further up. He's got Jordan Bain right in front of him. And it looks like it's going to be the number 26, if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be able to go ahead and grab his lap back.
So there you go, lucky dog that's going to be able to take advantage, come back, hopefully be able to do something with it. But I tell you what, looking at this track right now, the way everybody's driving, I think the back is where you want to be positioned right now with the way everybody's been spinning. Then again, a lot of the wrecks have been happening in the back, so I think right now either you want to be at the front of the pack or the back of the pack, and you just got to play conservative if you are in the back, knowing very much that a potential spin could happen and it could take out a few cars here.
You know, we're going to ride back here with Tyler Dohar as he chooses to go down pit road to top off. When they come on, we're going to go ahead and go back live. He went on down and topped off. 10 laps to go. From here on out, everybody is good to go. So now we're with the 28 of Jordan Bain. I know Boehner, he's got a shifter. He's not afraid to throw that thing into neutral. He's not afraid to take a chance. We saw that happen a couple weeks ago in the turn down for what series, I believe it was. And he ended up not being able to complete all the laps. Hopefully this decision again doesn't come out to bite him. It was lap 13. We said no. We only saw guys that are able to go 11 laps on a full tank of fuel. They stayed out again. Byron, what's your take?
I'm judging the way I saw. I believe last time they came down was 21. So guys may be okay as long as they didn't come down before that. I think if you are there though, if you are in the front, if you're low on fuel, keep saving, stay where you are. If you can, shut off your car for a second. Take advantage of this pacing right now. If you don't think you can make it, come on down, get the feel. It's okay. You still have time to come back versus waiting until 3 to go. Maybe a caution gets called. You're all out of luck because you didn't come on down pit road while other guys were either saving or did come down pit road. Now you move all the way to the back of the pack because of that decision you made. I don't know. As we look at the 23, Jose currently finding himself 11th, 14th position, the 64 of DJ. I think if you're sort of those guys, do the opposite of the leaders if you can. Come on down, get the field, take advantage of it if you need it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to mix you up with these cameras. What I'm doing is I'm going from car to car, listening for anybody that might be shutting it off and just doing some coasting. Usually before they shut it off and coast, though, they've got to give it just a little bit of gas, pull ahead of the person behind them, and then kick it back in and keep going again. But I have not heard the motor on this number 28 shut off. I don't have to go back to the 77 of Tyler Dohar because he just came out of the pits. He's good to go from here on fuel. It's really just these guys up front, and they are keeping the RPM going. They are not shutting it down.
Wow, that's surprising. Yeah, I'm now starting to hear it. Just sounds like they're all shifting. It's not even backing up on the gear or anything. It's just them shifting up or down, trying to keep up with the pace car here. Wow, it's kind of surprising. They must be good to go then, which is such a huge throw-off if that is what it is. But once guys come on down, I believe it will be 8 to go that time by, right? 40 laps in this race?
Yep, 8. It'll be 8 to go right now, running lap number 9. So when they come on by next time, they've already been given the order to double up. We'll have to see if this number 47 for Nicholson is able to pull away the same as he did from the earlier from the 17 of Holzer or the 37 of Elliott Henderson right behind him. Henderson, another one, has done a great job. J-Mac behind Henderson. And our buddy John Honeycutt sitting back here in P number 7. Tom Flitcroft in this double bubble trouble Camaro. And then our top 10 is going to be rounded out by Jose Ruiz with the 5 of Brendan Book behind him. Now, I mentioned earlier there was just a mere 4 points between the 5 of Brendan Book and the 17 of Holzer. Brendan Book's been able to gain a couple spots. He's narrowing down that points lead, but as of right now, Holzer would still have the points. Brendan Book has to make it to at least P5 if he wants to stay at least tied with Brendan or maybe keep 1 point on him. We're going to go ahead and bring it back up to the leader. Coming through the bus stop, rumble strips on the left, rumble strips on the right. Going to go through this long carousel one more time. 8 to go when they get to the line.
I honestly think if you're that 5 of Brendan Book, if you can't catch him, no sense in pushing. Obviously, we still got a long season ahead of us, only 4 races in out of, I'll have to check the schedule after the race, but there's still a good amount to go. I would say my guess roughly about 10, 12 still left in the season, so he's got a ton of time. But in the same boat, you can't keep giving up more and more points to especially, I'm going to say right now, the new Mr. Consistent, which was originally deemed to the 23 of Jose. Right now, this 17 of James Holzer is starting to look like Mr. Consistent, finishing 1, 2, 3, especially after, I believe, I went back, saw Daytona. A little bit of an incident. Of course, that's Daytona, though, unexpected. Right now, Holzer's just need to do everything he can to stay within that top 3 position, like you said, to claim those points over the 5 of Brendan Book.
Yeah, next week it's going to be very, very interesting. You kind of alluded to it. They're going to go from a very, very long road course, lefts and rights and battling, interloop, chicanes. We're talking all kinds of stuff here as pace car, that Porsche pace car is going to go ahead and pull off. We're going to set this number 47 free with 8 laps to go. Hard on that loud pedal. Holzer caught that. He was able to stay somewhat close, but nowhere near the acceleration or the time of the 47. Whole gaggle, everybody trying to find whatever room they can on this restart. Holzer, nothing for the 47, but next week they go to the paperclip, Martinsville Speedway. And man, that is going to be something. If they can get a full 43 car field, we're talking about seeing the tail end of the field by lap 2. That, man, we'll have to check. I'm going to have to go to the store and buy one of those lap counter handheld devices just to keep up with the possible cautions there.
Lap 2, I think we look at the tail end of the field before they even go green. But speaking of green, and with the green flag still waving, 47 and Nathan now out to 7/10 of a gap on the 17 of James Holzer. These two now starting to drive away. I tell you what, I was caught way off guard when that 47 took off. I was like, wait, hang on. Okay, now they're going green as you were yelling. I'm like, wow, he really took off. And 17 is James. Amazing reaction times, all I got to say, being able to keep up with him, but still within a 6/10 gap. Trying to close, and just look how much time they gained on that field just within that 1 lap.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like there was a little bit of an issue there on the back half of the track. Looks like Tom Sears part of this. He's got that 14 on the inside. Let's see, a little bit of a love tap maybe from the 26. Nowhere to go. Collects Josh Harbin, and I believe that's going to be Jaden Gimble. As you see the 53 scoot on by, looks like Josh Harbin, he's going to be able to get that thing righted and keep on keeping on, but very, very unlucky for this number 14. RaceArcs.com. You can't even tell if it's a Camaro, Ford, or Toyota anymore. Very, very unfortunate. Let's go ahead and bring it back live, bring it back to the front. Looks like the 47's been able to extend that little, I can't even call it a little gap anymore. It was little when we last saw, but now back to the 37 of Elliott Henderson. He's got Holzer in his rear view, Jordan Bain in the Holzer in the windshield, Jordan Bain in the rear view, J-Mac couple spots back, Connor Cortez, John Honeycutt able to hold serve where he was on the restart back there in P number 7 for any of his fans out there.
Yeah, with that wreck, just look at 26 was trying to hand over some Rusty's medicated bumper oil on over that ARCS car, trying to help him out a little. Looked like he was missing rear end. Like, here, let me help you out just a tad. But the 50 of John Honeycutt found himself up to P7 as now we're checking in with the 5 of Brendan Book, trying to scramble for every position he can pick up and grab to be able to maintain the points lead heading into the paperclip, which could make or break some points that week. I think at this point, drive what you can, especially with me not knowing what track is next. Paperclips to throw up got to be able to do what you can here to salvage some points that you can sort of waste next week. As now we check back in with the 26 and the 41. Guys now starting to scramble everywhere with less than 6 laps to go in this race.
Yeah, everybody doing a pretty good job. Going to check in now with Toll Owen. Something happened back here with him in that 09. It has not been Toll's race at all. Going to slide up, unable to hold it. Down into the grass, locked it down, and everybody does a great job getting on by him. One of the last cars to go by, you saw the 82 there of Stan Carnathan, and let's actually see if maybe we can't check up or catch up with Stan. Now he's a little bit further in the back. I don't want to go too far back, so let's try this number 8 double bubble machine. He's got a little bit of a battle between himself, the 50 of Honeycutt, and Mr. Brittle.
Yeah, everybody now starting to scramble for position at this point. Got to keep doing what you're doing. Got to stay consistent. As you see, he's finding himself being able to pick up those gaps in between. As I believe oh, never mind. Sorry, going ahead. I think it's back to live replay is what I'm seeing, or guys going off track over here.
Yeah, 64, a little slideways. Sorry about that. I got so wrapped up in everything that was going on, I didn't bring it back to current. My bad, dude. But yeah, either way, there was some great action going on back there. This 41 is all but slideways, as well as the car that's right in front of him. Man, doing a phenomenal job. Let's catch back up with Holzer and Nicholson. Holzer right now, he's far over, going across that start stripe. 4 laps remaining. The 47 and Nathan Nicholson absolutely extending his gap by just about 2 seconds now. It doesn't look like Holzer's going to have anything to pull the hat trick. But man, one hell of a job by Holzer to show that he can not only get it done on those cookie cutters, he can really wheel and deal on these road courses. We'll have to see what kind of a short track racer he is next week, though, when we get to Martinsville right around 9 o'clock p.m. right here.
Yeah, that's going to bring out the goods in just about everybody. You go from super speedways to mile and a halves, 2 of them. Find yourself at a road course such as Watkins Glen, of course, one of the most famous road courses you have in NASCAR. And then you hit one of the most famous short tracks in NASCAR. Go to old Martinsville next to Bristol. Those two, it seems like those two always put on great action with being so short they are. But looking at 34, Jordan McGraw finding himself up 1 position, which is actually really good, being able to keep up with his spot, knowing that I believe he is one of the best guys that has been able to qualify and run, other than the 47 of Nathan, which has just been able to run away with the lead. Best qualifying times, my assumption, has been able to stay up within the top pack. Yeah, everybody now starting to sort of realize their spots. They're going to keep rolling with what they have up through the end of the race, because I think everybody's getting too far spread out at this point.
Yeah, it looks like DJ Stagner had a little bit of an issue. We're going to check back with him in that number 64. We saw him having some issues. Looks like he is just a little loose. He's going to take out a couple cones, hold it sideways, lock it down. Everybody going to the outside. Good thing he spun where he did, because that is not the preferred line. This is everybody coming off the carousel. He spun to the inside wall. Everybody would have naturally been along those rumble strips anyway. And then Tyler Dohar, looks like there was an issue in this number 77 FilterTime Camaro as well. Maybe getting it back or adapting to his line. Getting into turn 5, little heavy under braking, downshift. And he looks like he wheel hopped as well. He might not be breathing too happy right now in that FilterTime Camaro. We're going to go ahead and bring it back live, though, before we get lost. Nathan Nicholson, he has clearly extended that lead. 2 laps remaining. Coming to the white flag next time by, Byron.
Yeah, now out to 3 seconds. This man is just a dominating race all race. That's the only way you can put it. James, I've said it last week, James had a dominating race at Michigan. Well, now Nathan comes in. We're starting to see the true road course ringer. The ringers of road courses would love to see more in this season, sort of mixed up ones, to truly see if that is his new name. You see he makes his way through the rumble strips with me. Right now, I have no clue how he's able to wheel that car so much. I look back, I go at different replays, trying to figure out what I do wrong. These guys are turning right and left as they're going straight. It's just so surprising to see how well these guys can maneuver their wheel around the track. But here we go, coming on down. White flag waving last time by. One more time around this track.
Yeah, coming to the last corner on the second to last lap, and absolutely smooth. You know, back in the day, old DW said on some of these road courses, you need to get that throttle down like there's an egg under the throttle. When I first switched to this camera for Nathan Nicholson, it looked like he was just driving with one hand. And then I'm like, okay, no, it's actually the sim. You can't really do that. But yeah, keeping up, going into the bottom of the S's, very, very smooth here. I'm off the throttle, again, off the throttle, just steering his way through, no pressure from behind, has a good 3 seconds, back to James Holzer. There is an issue with DJ Stagner in the back of the field, but we're going to stay right here with our winner, or with our first place driver, as he is coming up to the SpongeBob SquarePants number 94. Looks like he's just going to go ahead and pull on over, let Nate go. That's the right thing to do. No reason to impede his progress. There's no team rules, no nothing like that. No saying, hey, wait for Holzer. Second to last turn, I believe that's going to be turn 6. Turn 7, checking up one more time. He's not going to downshift, just going to apply a little bit of brake, and off the last lap, off the last turn, there he is coming to the line. Big congratulations to Nathan Nicholson. He's going to go flag to flag, except for maybe during pit stops. Congratulations on the W. James Holzer, P2. Elliot Henderson, P3. Jordan Bain, way to hold on, P4. Jordan McGraw, Connor Cortez, Brendan Book, Tom Flitcroft, Jose Ruiz, and John Honeycutt. So far, that's the top 10, but it looks like a little bit further in the back, John Honeycutt had a little bit of a problem catching up with him right now, and the number 10, this is also on the final lap, I believe, 10 inside. 10 just could not quite keep it going. But 50 locked it down, looped it around, got back on track. 10 felt so bad. That is one hell of a driver. 10 pulled over to give the spot back. Man, that's awesome. Good job. Good, man, that's a great job by him. Great integrity, Byron.
Yeah, great sportsmanship by that man right there, being able to say, hey, you know what? That was completely my fault. I'm going to stay right here. I totally deserve that. If you fall back, I'm going to fall back too. And that's one of the things that gets your respect right back for a driver, is being able to do something like that and knowing, yeah, he did mess up. He owned up to it. I'll take it. It's okay.
Well, this 47 has absolutely earned this smoke tonight. He's going to bring it back across the line, grab a couple of different gears, and try to go ahead and burn them down, go in the opposite direction. Byron, this is something I've never seen, or is something I've never seen. I've never seen anybody able to get all the way around the Glen while trying to smoke them up. It's just too much. Tires pop, and that's going to be it. But big congratulations to Nathan. Absolutely earned this entire the entire race was just his. When he said in pre-race, I'm a pretty good road racer, won a few in the officials, he wasn't just tooting his own horn. He backed it up.
Yeah, you know, when I sort of watched the beginning, and with James getting the run he thought, I was like, okay, wow, this 47 is going to have a ton of pressure on him. But no, he took off on the green. He said, see you later, took off, and that was all they wrote. He's just dominating race by the man, being able to do what he did, staying so calm, so collective, and consistent all night. Very, very impressed with that run.
Well, I definitely hope he takes a second, backs out of that, and grabs a phenomenal picture to post on Discord or Twitter or whatever. He absolutely deserved it. So to go through that top 10 one more time: Nathan Nicholson, James Holzer, Elliot Henderson, Jordan Bain, Jordan McGraw, Connor Cortez, Brendan Book, Tom Flitcroft, Jose Ruiz, and John Honeycutt. Now, a quick comment on those points, all right? James Holzer was behind Brendan Book by 4 points. He finished ahead of him by 5. So if the 5 led a lap or the 17 led a lap during green flag pit stops, these points could either swing one way or the other by 1 or they may be tied. It's going to be interesting to see how the points play out when it's all said and done. But guys and gals, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to have our top 3 live in the booth in just a moment. Please, by all means, stay right there. We'll be right back. All right, we are back live from Watkins, Glen International. We got P number 3 right now, driver of the 37 Toyota Supra, Elliot Henderson. Elliot, buddy, old pal, man, one hell of a way to keep that thing in the clear most of the night. No real issues for you. I don't think we actually saw your name fly up for any kind of a problem all night long. That 47, he was pretty tough. I think it's almost going to be a flag to flag if nobody led a lap during green flag pit stops. But what more did you need to try to get up there?
Talent from my end. I mean, I race with Nicholson enough to know that he's just crazy fast on these tracks. I didn't honestly expect to see James drive back up through there. Like, I didn't really know how fast he was based off practice and qualifying, but I knew James and Jordan and those guys would be fast too. So I just knew that Nicholson was pretty much unattainable, and I was like, if I can come out here with a second, third place finish, I'll be pretty happy with that. So we did it, and we'll see how far this propels us up through the points.
As he was going through the field and actually starting to put a few laps down, were you kind of hoping maybe just a little bit in the back of your mind that some of those lap down cars obviously wouldn't wreck him or anything like that, but might slow him up just a little bit to where you might have been able to get up a little bit closer to him, maybe learn his line, learn his shifting points, and keep up with him? Or do you think it was just that he's that great at road course races? I mean, in pre-race we talked to him, or I'm sorry, on the warm-up lap we talked to him, and he said that he's normally pretty good at these races. He won a bunch in the officials. Did you just need to work your way up to him to see exactly what he was doing?
Nah, I don't think there's anything I can do to mimic what he does. I've run in practices with him and stuff, and he's shown me what he does and everything, and I can't mimic that stuff, man. I mean, from my end, I needed a lap car to straight up take him out to be able to win this one, and I think even if that happened, I don't think I was going to catch James regardless. So we'll take what we got here. This is always, to me, one of the harder tracks, or any type of road course to me is like a wild card of a Talladega or Daytona. So a third place finish is just solid for us, and we'll move on with it and try to get back to these cookie cutters that we've been really good at, but haven't really seemed to have the luck at with these cautions falling and everything. So we survived this one tonight, thanks to the caution and me kind of complaining to the admins about how that fell. It was going to put me back in like 8th or something, and I was running 3rd all night. So they reversed it and let me restart in 3rd there at the last second. So I appreciate that, but we'll see where this goes from here. I know there's a bunch of races left before the playoffs start. We're just trying to position ourselves really nice and well for that.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, like you said, it's going to be a great points night for you. Talking about cookie cutters, you got the shortest of them next week. We're going to Martinsville, going to the Paperclip. Any quick shout-outs for you, sir?
Yeah, shout out to Elliott Henderson Graphics, always on the car, part of a little Bobby Carter scheme that we run every week. Obviously, my design brand that has been somewhat shut down and dormant for a little bit, but I'm going to plan to bring it back this year at some point. Shout out to Nicholson who works with me, Hunter Brittle, all those guys that end up in our group chat. I mean, there's a bunch of them. Tango, Joey Stone, and all these guys that we race with every week. Josh Harbin, Jason Keffer. I don't want to leave anybody out, but they're all in there. And Justin Bonds, and I have fun with them every week. It's a fun group to come and race with. And thank you guys for the broadcast. Tyler Dohar, Brendan Book, everybody who makes this league run. Marty, who works the flagging, everything. Thanks to everyone that just makes this happen, because this league has been a ton of fun this season. Looking forward to the rest of it, and hopefully I can be up here getting interviewed a few more times. And I think this is only my first one this season, so hopefully we'll be up here, a little more regularly.
Oh, there you go, buddy. We're definitely gonna go ahead and wish you the best for next week at the Paperclip and beyond. Hey, Byron. I know you're a Rays guy. I'm definitely a Rays guy. I think we're both, not only ambassadors, but insiders as well. How about that number 17 of old James Holzer? He's standing by.
Yeah, James, man, you got a copy.
I got you loud and clear, man.
Well, if I'm looking at this right, after this amazing race you had driving your way up through the field, if points are how they sit right now, you are now the new leader of the eSpark series right now with only 1 point over the 5 of Brendan Book. Man, walk us through that entire Watkins Glen race, man. It looked very, very hectic.
Nice. Yeah, it was a goal for today. We would try to get the points lead. Nicholson just had an insane pace. I mean, even if I was on the same tires he was there at the end, I had nothing. From talking to him in the staging room, he's more of a road course guy, so shout out to him there for having a heck of a run, dominating performance. Yeah, we did not have a good qualifying run. My computer actually froze on the first lap, and it paused in the S's, and I was in the grass the next second. So I had to regroup and do it on the second. I went with a more conservative lap because I didn't want to be, all the way in the back, because that would have been a real hard time getting through. But started, I believe, P8 or so, and it's really hard to pass here, so just had to, kind of build the run up where we were at. And I knew we were probably around 3rd, 2nd pace. Elliott had really good pace there at the beginning. Was really surprised there with the caution falling out there right where it did, that him having the fresh tires there, that he wasn't giving me more run for my money. But just tried to keep the car clean. We had 0 incident points all the way throughout, so kept the car on track and do what we had to do. And when you come to a road course, just kind of got to minimize the mistakes. Did a good job of doing that, and knew I didn't have the pace for Nicholson, so just had to keep all on track and just watch the guys behind me, because the race was for second tonight.
And with, of course, talking about Nicholson and how fast he was, obviously on that last restart, you were one of the guys that was able to kick it in the gear just as fast as him. Were you hoping possibly, if you applied enough pressure, possibly he made a mistake, therefore you being able to assume the lead and going for what would have been a hat trick, 3 races in a row winning? Obviously walking in with something like that, it's got to feel good walking, especially in the Martinsville next week.
You can always hope for a mistake. He was so consistent the whole entire run. So he was on, I believe, 5 lap pressure, which wasn't a huge deal, but it did make a difference. Like I said, though, even if I had the tires, I really don't think I could have done anything. But he had a really good restarts going into 1, so I really couldn't even put pressure on him, going into 1. So I'd have to, generate a run somewhere else. And he was just a lot better in the bus stop and the carousel, which found out why. It was just kind of the way we were running it. So I know next time I come here what to do. But he was just killing me in the bus stop in the chicane, and then turn 1 as well. He was getting some time on me there, just kind of going out, closer to the track limits. I was just trying to, like I said, cut down on the mistakes, because there was an incident count, and if you hit 15, you had to have a drive through. So didn't want to have that, so was just trying to like I said, keep all 4 tires on the track. So, I mean, I guess I could have really pushed a little bit harder, but like I said, even if I pushed harder, even, no matter what, I still think he had the pace.
Well, you're able to walk away P2 tonight, man. Congrats. Before we let you go, you got anybody you like shout out?
Yeah, thanks. Like to shout out you guys up in the booth for doing a fantastic job. I'm sure it's always it's a challenge doing these road courses because there's always so much to see, and with the couple incidents there were and the track blockages and all that stuff, it was a lot to keep track of. So shout out to you guys for doing a good job week in and week out. Just got to thank all the admins up in the booth for doing a good job and sorting out incidents that happened, like with Elliott there. He got caught on pit road. The sim was telling him to go to the back, but he came out like P4 or P3. So just a little instance like that. We do a really good job of getting together and making things right. Just got to thank also JP Designs for being a primary sponsor. Typically, Raise Energy is the primary sponsor on this car. Go ahead and check them out. And JP Designs as well on Facebook. Scheme starting at just $5. Group deals as well. Awesome turnaround and really good schemes. Also got to thank Laurel Auto Group and Butt Kicker as well for being on the car this season. And just got to keep momentum rolling towards Martinsville. With 3 podium finishes in a row, just excluding Daytona because Daytona happens. We've been on a really good pace this season, and Martinsville is going to be definitely about keeping the fenders on the car. We're gonna have upwards of 40 cars or more, trying to get into the race. It was only about 32 or so tonight just because it's a road course, and some of the people are kind of new to iRacing, so they might not have it, or they might just not be comfortable enough yet in the sim to want to do it. So yeah, look for next week to be definitely interesting. We just got to keep, like I said, all 4 on the car and keep track position.
Oh, there you go, man. Once again, congrats on your P2 tonight, and of course, best of luck to you next week.
Thank you.
And I believe, Pete, you got this man that really, I think, dominated this race tonight, leading all except for possible pits.
Yeah, absolutely. Nathan Nicholson in that monster machine was a monster, was a beast to the rest of the competition tonight. Nate Nicholson, buddy, you got a copy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Nate, well, we talked to you on the warm-up lap, and when you said you had won a few officials here and you were going to be good to go, you weren't just, it wasn't a moment of pride for you. Every bit of it was just straight fact. Congratulations on this W. First one for you, and man, Watkins Glen belonged to you tonight. Walk us through how you attack this track, if you don't mind, and was there ever a point, whether it was fuel or lap traffic that was coming closer to you in the windshield? When did you know that you had it, or was there ever a point that you said, man, I might need to be a little careful, might need to back it down a little bit, this looks a little sketchy to me? When did you know?
To be honest with you, I just drove the track the exact same every lap. Like I said, I just worried about what was in front of me. I wasn't worried about lap cars, wasn't worried about fuel. I just tried to be as consistent as I was, running around close to whatever my fastest lap time was. I think it was like a second off, or not a second off, 10th off, like every lap. Sometimes it would go a little faster because I would just hit a corner better. But that's all I did. I just focused on myself. I wasn't really worried about on the other cars. I would have found a way to get around them if anything bad happened.
Well, man, you absolutely had a just dominant. There's nothing more that you can really say. I mean, we followed with you on that white flag lap, kind of jumped on board, and man, I told Byron when I switched over to you, at one point it looks like you just had one hand on the wheel, just kind of cruising. You're catching up to the back end of that 94 SpongeBob machine, caught up to him in the carousel. He moved high, let you go. You just cruised to a great victory. Your first of the season, like I said. Holtzer's got 2, Jordan Baines got 1. All 3 of you finished inside the top 4 tonight. Great job, sir. What do you got for Martinsville? Are you a short track ace just like a road course, or are you going to have to put in a little practice there?
I can tell you right now I am garbage turning left. I only like to turn right and left.
Well, You definitely got that down pat. It's definitely going to help you in the points. You know, not only winning, you're going to have, you know, leading a lap, leading the most laps. In fact, I think Brendan Book already said that the points are up for tonight, so be able to go on over and check those. Any quick shout-outs for you, sir?
Not to my knowledge, really. Sorry, I'm not super lively right now. I'm very tired. Just got off work a couple hours ago and hopped on. So.
Well, if you can attack a track like Watkins Glen after working a full shift and be dog tired, better watch out anywhere else we go. Congratulations, sir.
All right. I'll have a good one.
You too. Byron, race number 4 is in the books. Daytona, Atlanta, Michigan, and now the Glen. 3 different winners, 4 different tracks. On to the paperclip next week, Martinsville Speedway. Holzer says he's looking forward to that. If he's looking forward to that after the season that he's having so far, I think there might need to be a few practice sessions popping up between now and next Wednesday. What'd you think of the race? Any final thoughts for you, sir?
Man, I obviously a great race all in all. Being able, of course, being up here, calling a race with the one man I enjoy, that's the best part of it all. But yeah, it was a great race all in all. Guys being able to do what they did, being so close they were, and being able to, I guess, maneuver around all the crashes that there were. I was expecting a lot more cautions with the way everybody was spinning very, very early on into this race, but it turned out to be one heck of a race. I couldn't have spent it with anybody better, man. I appreciate you inviting me coming here, and it's been a blast ever since I've joined.
Well, big thank you to Blake Koch and Dale Jr., owners of FilterTime. You know, I haven't done this yet, but I really need to kind of get into it. Right when FilterTime started to sponsor the eSpark series back on console when I first got my house. That was actually one of the first stops I made. Go to FilterTime.com and either buy the filter single or grab yourself a subscription. They come to you when they're needed. You don't have to do any of the scheduling. As old Rick James and a few others have said, FilterTime, breathe happy. And of course, to our buddies over at BeWater. On the bottom underneath the iRacing logo, there you see a scroll, BeWaterBU.com. Promo code BeFast, all caps, for a quick $5 off a case of BeWater. Whether it's just a single case or you decide you want to go with a subscription there, it's all absolutely worth it. We will catch everybody again next Wednesday night, right around 9 o'clock. These iRacing races, they kick off right on time. You don't have to worry about, someone running late or anything like that. If you're not here, you missed a train, you got to catch the next one. Until next Wednesday, right around 9 o'clock, I'm Repeat. That is Byron. We will see you again all very, very soon. Take care.